Okay, so in this video, we're going to deal with our object line assignments, problems 25 through 28. Now, only thing I want to talk about, you're going to do your 4 drawings, which you should be able to do pretty easily now. But just as a heads up, something you should consider. If I open up a new part and I'm going to start doing, I'll give you an example of the one. Actually, maybe I can bring up lines and views real quick. So if 25 is the one I'm working on, which is right here, right? This is my front view looking in at it, right? So I'm going to pull that away and I'm going to come back. So I'm going to go to Start New Sketch, and it brings up my axis here. And if you notice, the XY plane is kind of in line with your front view. The YZ plane is in line with your right view, and the XZ plane is in with your top view. So when I draw this, I really want to make an effort to try to make my front view work out in both drawings, right? I want it, when I bring it in later, I want it to already know what my front view is. I don't want to have to customize it, but I'm just trying to make that point, and I'll show you what I mean. So again, we're drawing this drawing right here. And put it right there, that we can click in and out of it pretty quick. So I am going to choose this for my front view, okay? Then I'm going to draw my object. I'm going to go, and we'll put a rectangle in here, right? And then I'll dimension it, go to dimension. And again, if you remember looking at our dimensions, it's 0.5 by a height of 1. So let's go 0.5, enter. Let's go 1, enter, finish sketch. And then we're going to extrude it. And then if you notice, it comes this way, off of my front view. My suggestion would be that you send it backwards. That one I'm not as strong on. If you don't do it that way, that's fine. But I think it could potentially make things easier on you. We want to go 1 3/8 back. So we're going to go 1.375 and say OK. And then we've got our brick here. So then we're going to cut our other object into this. So let's go and we'll put this on here. And again, it's basically a 1/2 inch by 3/4 square that's going to go back. So I'm going to go and I'll put a rectangle from this corner there. And it doesn't matter what size it is because we're going to dimension it. So go to dimension, go to 0.5. Which that should have automatically been 0.5. I'm going to redraw that just in case that didn't go on the way it was supposed to go on. I want to make sure we don't mess that up. So one more time, rectangle. Make sure it's snapped in there like it should have, and then it's snapped here also. Yeah, see, it's not. It's missing. So let's drag that over. Okay, so now it should be. I don't know. We're going to have to dimension that. I don't know why it doesn't want to grab like it should. So let's dimension it and make sure that the dimension makes it do what we want it to do. So come here, 0.5. Looks like it's okay, but I'm going to try one more time just to make sure. From here to here. It won't do it, but because it just didn't show right now. I'm just nervous if we go from here to here. Type in 0.5. It liked that, so I guess it was snapped right. It just didn't look right. So then go from here. It's back to dimension. Go from here to here. 0.5. Enter. Finish 2D sketch. We're going to go extrude again. We're going to change it to cut. And our cut is going to be 0.75, if I remember right. So there's my object. I'm going to go and I'm going to save it. The other thing that I should have done, I'm not going to save it because I already have. But the other thing you really should consider is that when you start, you want to make sure that you start a new project, right? So make sure that you're making a new project. So if I go to projects, make sure that's there. And then make sure all of your stuff ends up in that same project. So you can see I have Ortho 28, 27, 26. I named 29 wrong. 25 is down here. So those are all in the same project. And so down here is my ISO, my Ortho 25. That's what that is. Okay, so now we're ready to get started. And some of the stuff I just talked about will get pointed out in a minute here. So I'm going to open up my perfect title block. And I'm immediately going to save it. Go to File, Save As, Save As. And we're going to name this last name, Duff, dot. I used a comma, but it should be dot Ortho 25-28. I think that's what the folder's named. If it's not, you have to change it to what the folder's named, but that's basically the idea. Hit save, and then when it comes up, you notice that my entries aren't correct, so I got to go to perfect title block. You can do this really one of two ways. For the first time, I think we'll just go to edit field text. We'll go to project name, and we'll name this Ortho Projections. And then we'll go to drawing name, which is Ortho 25. Put in my name, Mr. Duff. Put in the date, 06-07-229 / I really should have said. This is going to be where your scale goes. I know the scale is going to be 2 to 1, but every drawing is going to be different. So you may have to put it in blank and then come back and edit again later. And then this is A1. So say OK. And then we're going to go to base, and I'm going to go find Ortho 25. And I'm going to bring it in. So this is at 1 to 1 scale, which is too small. So we're going to change that to 2 to 1. I could consider changing it to something larger. So if I type in 2.5 to 1, I could make that potentially the scale. And you can kind of hold your mouse up here to sort of see. So let's see if I can drag this over. It might not let me. Yep, there. Drag that over. Go back to that 2.5 to 1. And then be like, I don't know if it's enough room. So whatever. I'll put it back to 2 to 1. Make sure it switches. It does. Also, make sure that you have hidden lines selected. And I'll show you why that's important in a little bit. But make sure it's hidden line, not hidden line removed. All right. So let's drop our. Oh, sorry. So let's not do that yet. Let's delete this one if it let us. It did. So once we have our base view, and let's go to projected, click here, click there, and now we have all 4 sides in. We'll go create all 4 views in, and we're looking good. I talked about having the hidden lines. I move this object up a little bit, and I go and I project, and I bring this down, and I go to create. As long as you have hidden lines selected, it will show you all of your hidden lines. So that's there. We're not going to need it on this view, but on others, when you get into hidden lines, especially when you get into problems 30 through 35, that's how that'll happen. As long as you have the hidden line on, it'll show them. So again, let's put this back the way it should be. We keep making the comments about the differences between AutoCAD and Inventor, and so this is one of them. The spacing here is different than it is here. As far as I know, there's no way to make that spacing uniform to guarantee that this is a 1/2 inch, that that's a 1/2 inch. Right? So again, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Is it important? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how exact you're trying to be and how important it is. But just so you know, that's a thing. So once you've got your views in, we're going to go through and dimension. So we're going to go to annotate and then go to dimension. Right? We can start popping those in if you don't remember, here to here. And once you see these angles, you know it's giving you the true dimension. It's telling you what size it actually is. So that's a good thing. That's what we want to know. Go from here to here. And then keep dimensioning like this. I think we kind of know how to do the rest of it. If I had to change my scale, I would come back up here to field text, go to edit field text, and then I could change it here. I'm just going to make it 1 to 1 so you can see the change. Say OK. The other thing I could change is I could make this A2. I could make, instead of A1. I'm not going to do that, but I could. So 2 to 1, say OK. So I've got one drawing done, and now I want to make another sheet. If I come back here to place views, this is new sheet, and it's going to immediately ask me for my stuff. So I'm going to say Ortho Projections, and then the drawing name is going to be Ortho 26, and then my name once again is Mr. Duff. The date is still 06/07/2019. Scale, I really have no idea what's going to be, so let's go 1 to 1 for now. See how that goes. And we'll name this A2. Awesome. Say OK. So there's my second sheet. I'm going to bring in my view, and I'm just doing this now so I have a second drawing to show you. But I'm going to bring in 26 quickly here. 26. Looks like we can maybe I'll go up in scale here. Let's see about 2.5 to 1. Drag that down. Nope, still too big. So we're going to go back to 2 to 1. My guess is that'll be okay. It is. So say OK. Project from here, there, there, there. Go to create, and I'll let you worry about putting the dimensions on. So I have 2 drawings now. I should have 4, but just for sake of time, I'm not going to draw the rest of them. When you're done, you're going to save it, obviously. So hit save. And then I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Print, and I'm going to go to Print. And I want to change this to Cute PDF Writer. And I don't want to say current sheet. I want to say all sheets. And just make sure there's nothing else. Model, best fit, rotate 90, move object scale. All that looks good. Let's preview it to make sure it came out the way we wanted. Looks like it's going to. All right, and then I can just say print, and it will bring up my Cute PDF Writer. And I'll say OK. And it's good. It'll make that file. So I'm going to make this file duff dot ortho 25-28. Not dash, that's slash. Dash, say save, and then you can hand it in. So when you're done with this, we're going to repeat this whole process. You're going to go through the hidden lines, and that's problems 30 through 35. So once you're done with this, you go through, start the whole process over, sketch them, do them in AutoCAD, do them in Inventor, make your working drawings, and then you'll have hand-in folders for all of that. So if you have any questions, obviously come up and ask. Otherwise, good luck.